Hey there, and welcome to the Sleepless Scientist. Tonight, we're drifting into the quiet corners of the mind to explore one of humanity's oldest and most persistent mysteries, the enigma of dreams. What truly happens when we close our eyes and our minds wander? For centuries, dreams have captivated us, offering glimpses into unknown worlds, whispered warnings, or profound insights. We'll journey through ancient wisdom, modern scientific discoveries, and even venture into the fascinating landscape of lucid dreaming. So settle in, maybe grab a warm drink, and let's unravel this together. If you're curious about what your brain is up to while you rest, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to join us on this gentle exploration. It helps us keep these curious journeys going. Our story begins not in a modern lab, but far, far back in time, under star-dusted skies where humanity first gazed at the night and wondered about the strange visions that came with sleep. Imagine early humans waking from vivid nighttime experiences, trying to make sense of figures and events that felt intensely real yet utterly intangible. Were these just random thoughts or something more profound? For many ancient cultures, dreams weren't just personal experiences, they were vital messages. They were seen as direct communications from deities, spirits, or ancestors, guiding decisions for tribes and individuals alike. These nocturnal narratives held immense power, often dictating anything from hunting strategies to declarations of war, from personal healing to the very fate of a community. The dream world was an undeniable force. Journey with me now to ancient Mesopotamia, where scribes meticulously recorded everything. Here, dreams were taken so seriously that they developed some of the earliest known dream dictionaries. These extensive tablets weren't just random notes, they were systematic attempts to decode the language of the subconscious. Every symbol, every recurring image had a specific, often prophetic, meaning. Priests and seers became skilled dream interpreters, holding significant influence. Their ability to translate these divine messages was crucial for rulers and common folk seeking guidance. A dream of a lion might signify strength or perhaps an impending threat, depending on the context. The weight of these interpretations could alter the course of an empire. Across the desert sands, ancient Egypt echoed this fascination. Their dream books, like the famous Chester Beatty Papyrus, offered similar detailed interpretations, blending religious belief with practical advice. For the pharaohs, dreams were often seen as omens directly from the gods, particularly Ra or Osiris. A powerful dream could legitimize a ruler's claim or warn of impending disaster. Think of the biblical story of Joseph interpreting Pharaoh's dreams of 7 fat cows and 7 lean cows, predicting years of plenty followed by famine. This reflects the pervasive belief in dreams as prophecy. Beyond daily guidance, dreams in Egypt were also linked to the afterlife, sometimes believed to be visits from the deceased or glimpses into the journey of the soul. Centuries later, in ancient Greece, a new way of thinking emerged. Philosophers began to question the divine origins of everything, including dreams, seeking rational explanations. Plato, the great philosopher, saw dreams as windows to the soul. He believed that when the body was at rest, the rational part of the soul could be free to contemplate higher truths, sometimes clouded by earthly desires. For Plato, a virtuous person might have dreams that revealed wisdom, while someone consumed by earthly appetites might experience chaotic or lustful visions, reflecting their inner state. This was a shift. Dreams were still meaningful, but their meaning was rooted more in the individual's psyche and moral character, rather than solely external divine messages. Then came Aristotle, Plato's student, but with a more empirical, scientific mind. He began to suggest that dreams were not necessarily divine, but rather echoes of our daily thoughts and sensory experiences. He proposed that faint sensory impressions from our waking lives, a sound, a feeling, a sight, could persist into sleep and become amplified, forming the content of our dreams. Intriguingly, Aristotle even considered the physical body's state. He believed that even something like digestion could influence dreams, leading to a more disturbed or chaotic sleep experience. So, for Aristotle, dreams were less about divine intervention and more about the brain processing residual activity, a kind of internal echo chamber of the day's events. This was a significant intellectual leap, moving dream interpretation from pure prophecy to a more naturalistic, almost scientific, inquiry into the workings of the human mind and body. While still far from modern neuroscience, Aristotle's ideas planted the seed that dreams might originate from within us, rather than solely from external spiritual forces. Beyond philosophical debate, dreams played a very practical role in ancient healing. In places like the Asclepiad, temples dedicated to the god of medicine, Asclepius, dreams were actively sought. Seekers would travel to these sacred sites, perform rituals of purification, and then lie down to sleep in designated abada or dormitory-like chambers, hoping for a divine dream. The belief was that Asclepius himself, often appearing as a serpent or accompanied by one, would visit them in their sleep, delivering a diagnosis or a cure through a dream. Upon waking, priests would help interpret these incubation dreams. Sometimes the dream was a direct instruction: go to this spring or eat this herb. Other times, the dream was symbolic, requiring careful decoding to reveal the path to healing. The process was deeply personal, blending faith, ritual, and a profound belief in the power of the subconscious. While we now understand the power of suggestion and the placebo effect, for the ancients, these dream cures were tangible evidence of divine intervention, offering hope and solace. Animals, particularly snakes, were central to the Asclepiad. Non-venomous snakes were often kept in the temples, seen as sacred conduits for the god's healing power, sometimes even appearing in dreams. This practice highlights humanity's long-standing desire not just to understand dreams, but to harness their perceived power for well-being and guidance. It speaks to a deep psychological need. Beyond the Mediterranean, indigenous cultures across the globe also held profound reverence for dreams. For many, dreams were not just messages, but active spaces for spiritual travel or communication with ancestral spirits. From the intricate dream catchers of Native American tribes designed to filter bad dreams to shared dreaming practices that guided communal decisions, the dream world was a vibrant, living realm. As we look back at these ancient beliefs, we see a universal human impulse to find meaning in the chaos of the night, to understand the narratives our minds weave when we sleep. Even in these early interpretations, we can discern the nascent seeds of scientific inquiry, the attempts to categorize, to find patterns, to link internal states with external events. The journey from divine messages to physiological echoes marks the beginning of our continuous quest to demystify dreams, a quest that continues with even greater intensity today. In our next chapter, we'll fast forward through time, delving into the scientific revolution that began to peel back the layers of sleep itself, revealing the hidden stages and the remarkable brain activity that defines our dreams. For now, as the echoes of ancient whispers fade, perhaps you'll look at your own dreams tonight with a renewed sense of wonder. Until next time, stay curious and rest well. The ancient interpretations, though rich with meaning, eventually gave way to a new era. The mid-20th century brought forth tools that allowed us to peer into the sleeping mind with unprecedented detail, moving beyond philosophy to physiology. This was the dawn of systematic sleep research. Scientists were no longer just observing behavior, they were now recording the intricate electrical symphony of the brain and body as we slept. The electroencephalogram, or EEG, became the key. It captured the brain's electrical whispers, revealing distinct patterns that characterized different states of consciousness, including sleep. In the early 1950s, at the University of Chicago, a graduate student named Eugene Asarinsky was working under the guidance of Dr. Nathaniel Kleitman, a pioneer in sleep research. Asarinsky's task was simple yet tedious: observe sleeping infants and adults, particularly focusing on their eye movements. He meticulously recorded these observations night after night. He noticed something curious. For periods during sleep, often lasting several minutes, the eyes of his subjects would begin to dart rapidly back and forth, even though their eyelids remained closed. These rapid eye movements, or REM, were not continuous. They appeared in distinct recurring bursts, interspersed with periods of still, quiet sleep. Initially, Asarinsky and Kleitman wondered if these movements were just random physiological quirks, perhaps related to muscle twitches or discomfort. But the regularity of the phenomenon and its distinct pattern suggested something more organized, a specific state within the larger landscape of sleep. They began to correlate these eye movements with other physiological markers, such as changes in breathing patterns and heart rate, using early polygraph equipment. The data slowly accumulated, painting a picture of a unique phase of sleep that seemed to stand apart from the deeper, more quiescent stages. Kleitman, with his extensive experience, recognized the potential significance of Asarinsky's observations. They decided to investigate further, focusing on what happened during these REM periods. The critical step was to wake subjects during these periods of rapid eye movement and ask them about their experience. The results were striking. When subjects were awakened during REM sleep, they reported vivid, detailed dreams over 80% of the time. Conversely, when woken during non-REM sleep, dream recall was much lower, and any reported experiences were often less vivid, more fragmented. This was a profound connection, a tangible link between an observable physiological phenomenon and the elusive world of dreams. It was a breakthrough. The discovery, published in 1953, shook the scientific community. Dreams, long considered mystical or purely psychological, now had a clear, measurable biological correlate. This unique phase of sleep became known as rapid eye movement, or REM sleep, and it was characterized not just by eye movements, but by a host of other physiological changes. During REM sleep, the brain's electrical activity showed patterns remarkably similar to wakefulness, a bustling, active state despite the body's deep rest. Yet, despite this active brain, the body entered a state of near-complete paralysis, a protective mechanism preventing us from acting out our vivid dreams. This striking contrast between a highly active brain and a largely immobile body led to the concept of paradoxical sleep. It was a paradox indeed, the deepest, most restorative sleep, yet the brain was as busy, perhaps even busier, than when awake. Further studies revealed that REM sleep cycles occurred approximately every 90 minutes throughout the night, with each cycle lasting longer as sleep progressed. The brain during REM sleep was a symphony of activity. Areas involved in emotion, memory, and visual processing showed heightened engagement. Neurotransmitters, the brain's chemical messengers, also showed distinct patterns during REM, modulating brain activity in specific ways that facilitated dreaming. Scientists began to understand that dreams were not just random mental events, but a highly organized and essential part of our nightly rest. The discovery of REM sleep provided a tangible entry point into the mechanics of dreaming, moving the study of dreams firmly into the realm of empirical science. With this new understanding, researchers could now design experiments to explore the content and function of dreams with greater precision. They observed that emotional dreams often correlated with increased heart rate and more erratic breathing patterns during REM sleep. Nightmares, for instance, could trigger significant physiological stress responses, even in a sleeping body, mirroring the intensity of the dream experience. This allowed scientists to begin to objectify subjective experiences, linking the internal world of dreams to measurable external indicators. The implications were vast. Dreams were no longer just ephemera, they were a complex, biologically driven process, integral to our mental and physical well-being. The discovery of REM sleep also laid the groundwork for understanding sleep disorders, providing a framework for diagnosing and treating conditions that disrupted this vital stage. It revealed that sleep was not a uniform, passive state, but a dynamic, multi-stage journey, with each stage serving different, yet equally crucial, functions. The brain, far from shutting down, was actively engaged in complex processes, consolidating memories, processing emotions, and perhaps even solving problems. This marked a profound shift from ancient beliefs to a modern scientific understanding, transforming dreams from divine messages into fascinating neurological phenomena. The once mysterious visions of the night were now linked to a specific, measurable state of consciousness, opening countless new avenues for research. But the discovery of REM sleep was just the beginning. It offered a window, but not yet the full picture, into why we dream and what those dreams truly mean. The active, dreaming brain presented new questions. If the body was paralyzed, how could some individuals move, even walk, while deeply asleep? What could this tell us? In our next chapter, we will delve deeper into the astonishing behaviors that can occur during sleep, exploring the intriguing world of sleepwalking in humans and animals, and what these phenomena reveal about our sleeping minds. The discovery of REM sleep opened a profound window, revealing the biological stage where dreams vividly unfold. Yet, it also deepened the mystery. What about the experience of dreaming itself? While our bodies lay still, our minds were constructing entire worlds. Could the conscious self, the I that perceives reality, ever truly awaken within these dreamscapes? For centuries across diverse cultures, tales circulated of individuals who claimed to know they were dreaming, even to control their dream narratives. These were the whispers of lucid dreaming. From Tibetan dream yoga to ancient Greek philosophies, the concept of conscious awareness within a dream was a recurrent, intriguing idea. But could it be scientifically proven? For a long time, mainstream science viewed lucid dreaming with skepticism. It seemed too subjective, too anecdotal to fit into rigorous laboratory methods. How could one verify an internal mental state? How could a researcher distinguish genuine lucidity from a vivid dream about being lucid? The challenge was immense. The scientific method demanded objective, verifiable evidence. The ethereal nature of dreams made this quest particularly difficult, almost like grasping smoke. Researchers needed a bridge, a way for the dreaming mind to communicate its conscious state to the waking world, a direct signal from the dream realm. Enter Stephen LaBerge, a psychophysiologist at Stanford University in the late 1970s. He believed the bridge could be found in the very movements of the eyes during REM sleep. LaBerge's ingenious idea was to teach dreamers a prearranged signal. While dreaming lucidly, they would deliberately move their eyes in a specific pattern, like left-right, left-right. This pattern, distinct from the spontaneous eye movements of regular REM sleep, could be detected by electrodes placed near the eyes on a sleeping subject. In his sleep lab, Laberge meticulously set up the experiment. He and other trained lucid dreamers would go to sleep, attempting to become aware within their dreams. Then came the breakthrough. A sleeper in the midst of REM sleep executed the prearranged eye signal. It was a clear, unmistakable message from the dream world. This was the first objective, scientific verification of lucid dreaming. The subjective experience had found its measurable physiological correlate. The implications were profound. It meant consciousness in a verifiable form could exist even while the body was deeply asleep and dreaming. Laberge's work opened the floodgates for further research, establishing lucid dreaming as a legitimate field of scientific inquiry, no longer mere anecdote. With the advent of advanced brain imaging techniques like fMRI and more sophisticated EEG, scientists could now look deeper into the brain's activity during lucidity. They sought to identify the unique neural signatures that distinguished a lucid dream from a non-lucid one. What parts of the brain woke up? Studies revealed heightened activity in specific brain regions, particularly in the prefrontal cortex, the area associated with higher-order cognitive functions. This region is crucial for self-awareness, critical thinking, decision-making, and memory, all elements that align with conscious control within a dream. The prefrontal cortex, normally less active during non-lucid REM sleep, showed a distinct surge when a dreamer became lucid, indicating a waking up of executive function. This provided further biological evidence that lucid dreaming was not merely a retrospective interpretation upon waking, but a real-time shift in consciousness during sleep. The brain, even while constructing an elaborate dream world, could simultaneously engage its critical faculties, observing and influencing the dream. It was a testament to the brain's incredible plasticity and capacity for different states of awareness, even when deep in the throes of sleep. With verification came the desire for induction. Could lucid dreaming be taught or triggered? Researchers began exploring various techniques. One prominent method is mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, or mild, where one intends to remember they are dreaming before falling asleep and practices reality testing. Reality testing involves regularly checking if one is dreaming during waking life, leading to the habit of doing so within a dream, triggering lucidity. Another method, wake back to bed WBTB, involves waking up after a few hours of sleep, staying awake briefly, then returning to sleep to enter REM more quickly. External cues were also explored. Gentle light flashes or specific sound patterns played during REM sleep could sometimes prompt awareness in dreamers. These techniques allowed scientists to study the process of becoming lucid, understanding the cognitive shifts involved in gaining awareness within the dream state. The controlled environment of the sleep lab became crucial for testing these induction methods, providing objective data on their effectiveness. The ability to induce and study lucid dreams opened doors not just for understanding consciousness, but for potential practical and therapeutic applications. One promising area is the treatment of recurrent nightmares. Lucid dreamers can confront their fears, alter the dream narrative, and thus reduce trauma. Lucid dreaming also offers a unique space for practicing skills, from public speaking to motor tasks, potentially enhancing learning and performance in waking life. Artists and problem solvers have also found value, using the lucid dream state for creative inspiration or to work through complex challenges in a free, imaginative environment. It becomes a personal laboratory, a realm for self-discovery and exploration, pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible within the sleeping mind. The research continues, exploring the full potential of this remarkable state, seeking to understand its deeper neurobiological underpinnings and wider applications. Lucid dreaming stands as a profound testament to the mind's complexity, showing that even in our deepest rest, a part of us can remain thoughtfully aware. It blurs the lines between waking and dreaming, inviting us to ponder the very nature of consciousness itself and the many forms it can take. But what happens when the body, typically paralyzed during REM sleep, moves? When the dream world spills into physical action, our next journey will explore these astonishing sleep behaviors. Our previous journey into the mind's nocturnal landscapes revealed how consciousness could awaken within a dream. But what happens when the body, typically paralyzed during REM sleep, begins to move, when the dream world seems to spill into physical action? Tonight, we explore one of sleep's most astonishing and often unsettling phenomena, sleepwalking. It is a state where the lines between rest and activity, between unconscious thought and physical deed, blur in fascinating ways. For centuries, the sight of a sleeping person rising and moving, seemingly unaware, was met with fear and superstition. These wanderings were often attributed to dark forces or supernatural influences. Ancient texts and folklore speak of sleepwalkers as being possessed, their bodies merely vessels for spirits or demons. This perspective instilled terror, leading to ostracization or attempts at exorcism. The moon, too, was often implicated. The term somnambulism, derived from Latin, literally means sleepwalking, but its connection to the lunar cycle, lunacy, persisted for a long time. It was believed that the full moon held a mysterious power, stirring the sleeping mind into activity, making individuals walk or perform strange acts under its pale glow. These historical accounts, though rooted in misunderstanding, highlight humanity's profound need to explain the inexplicable, especially when it involved the mysterious realm of sleep. As scientific inquiry slowly began to replace superstition, observers started to record the behaviors of sleepwalkers with more detail. They noted the blank stares, the unresponsiveness, the often complex actions. Early neurologists in the 19th century began to suspect that sleepwalking was a disorder of the nervous system, not a spiritual affliction. This marked a crucial shift. The focus moved from expelling demons to understanding brain function, but the precise mechanisms remained elusive, hidden deep within the sleeping mind. With the advent of EEG and modern sleep studies, scientists could finally observe the brain activity during sleepwalking episodes. The findings were surprising. Unlike the vivid, active brain of REM sleep, sleepwalking or somnambulism typically occurs during deep non-REM NREM sleep, specifically slow-wave sleep. During this phase, parts of the brain associated with movement and basic functions appear to wake up, while areas responsible for consciousness, memory, and judgment remain deeply asleep. It's as if a small part of the brain is active enough to initiate movement, but not enough to achieve full awareness or coherent thought. A fascinating dissociation. This explains why sleepwalkers often have no memory of their nocturnal excursions. Their conscious mind was simply not online to record the experience. However, there's another related condition, REM sleep behavior disorder, RBD. Here, the protective paralysis of REM sleep fails, allowing individuals to physically act out their vivid dreams. Unlike somnambulism, where the person is in deep NREM sleep, RBD sleepers are in REM, often experiencing intense, sometimes violent, dreams which they then physically manifest. This distinction is crucial for diagnosis and treatment. NREM sleepwalking is a partial arousal from deep sleep, while RBD is a failure of motor inhibition during dreaming. The brain's intricate control over our body during sleep is far more complex than once imagined, capable of both deep paralysis and unexpected activity. These disorders reveal the delicate balance within our sleeping minds, where a slight misstep in neural signaling can lead to profound behavioral changes. Observations of sleepwalking behaviors can be truly astounding. Individuals have been known to perform incredibly complex tasks while still asleep. From preparing meals to playing musical instruments, from writing emails to even driving a car, the range of actions recorded is vast and often bewildering. These cases challenge our understanding of consciousness. How can a mind, seemingly asleep, orchestrate such coordinated and purposeful movements? The sleepwalking mind is not truly unconscious in the sense of a coma. It's a state of dissociated consciousness where different brain regions operate independently. The motor cortex, responsible for movement, is active, but the prefrontal cortex, vital for judgment and decision-making, remains largely offline. This explains the often expressionless face of a sleepwalker and their lack of memory. They are not there in the conscious sense, yet their bodies perform with surprising dexterity. The triggers for sleepwalking are varied, including stress, sleep deprivation, certain medications, and a genetic predisposition. It often runs in families. Children are more prone to sleepwalking, suggesting a developmental aspect as the brain matures and its sleep cycles stabilize. Understanding these triggers helps researchers identify at-risk individuals and develop strategies to minimize the frequency and danger of sleepwalking episodes. The study of sleepwalking continues to reveal the fragmented nature of consciousness during sleep, challenging our simplistic notions of being either fully awake or fully asleep. Beyond human observation, comparative studies in the animal kingdom offer intriguing insights into the evolutionary roots of sleep-like behaviors and somnambulism. While animals don't sleepwalk in the human sense, many exhibit complex behaviors during sleep or sleep-like states, blurring the lines of what it means to be truly at rest. Some bird species, for instance, are known for unihemispheric slow-wave sleep, where one half of their brain sleeps while the other remains awake, allowing them to fly and migrate while resting. This remarkable adaptation allows them to maintain vigilance against predators or navigate long journeys without fully landing. It's a form of active sleep. Even insects exhibit forms of rest that involve reduced responsiveness and motor activity, suggesting that cycles of activity and rest are fundamental across the animal kingdom. These animal behaviors suggest that the brain's ability to compartmentalize and activate specific functions during periods of reduced awareness might be an ancient evolutionary trait. It hints at a deeper, shared biological heritage where the sleeping state is not a passive shutdown, but a dynamic, active process with many possible manifestations. From ancient fears to modern neuroscience, sleepwalking and related phenomena continue to challenge our definitions of consciousness, revealing the hidden depths of our sleeping minds. These astonishing behaviors, where mind and body diverge, lead us to an even more fundamental question. Why do we dream at all? What purpose do these nightly narratives serve? In our final chapter, we will delve into the latest research, exploring the theories that attempt to explain the very function of dreams, unraveling the deepest mysteries of our sleeping selves. Until then, rest well and stay curious. The astonishing behaviors of sleepwalkers, where mind and body diverge, lead us to a more fundamental question. Beyond the how of sleep's many manifestations lies the persistent why. Why do we dream at all? What purpose do these nightly narratives serve? For centuries, the function of dreams remained a mystery, a subject of philosophical debate rather than scientific inquiry. But with the advent of modern neuroscience, researchers began to propose concrete, testable theories. These theories suggest that dreams are not merely random neural firings, but rather a crucial, active process. They hint at a nightly purpose, a silent work performed by our brains while we rest. Tonight, we delve into the latest research, exploring the leading hypotheses that attempt to unravel the deepest mysteries of our sleeping selves. Each offers a unique lens through which to view the brain's nocturnal endeavors. One of the most compelling theories centers on memory consolidation. Imagine the brain as a diligent librarian, organizing the day's influx of information, filing away what's important, and discarding what's not. During waking hours, our minds absorb countless experiences, facts, and skills. Sleep, and particularly REM sleep, appears to be the brain's dedicated time for processing this vast amount of data. Researchers have observed that dreams often incorporate elements from our recent past, sometimes in fragmented or symbolic ways. This isn't just random, it's the brain at work. Studies show that individuals perform better on memory tasks after a night of good sleep, especially if that sleep included ample REM cycles. Dreams seem to play a role in this enhancement. The theory suggests that during dreams, the brain replays and strengthens neural connections formed during the day. This reinforcement helps move new information from short-term to long-term memory. It's not a literal replay, but a dynamic integration. The brain isn't just storing facts, it's weaving new experiences into the existing tapestry of our knowledge and understanding. This process is vital for learning. Whether it's mastering a new language, learning a musical instrument, or simply remembering faces, dreams contribute to solidifying these new skills. Even complex motor skills like riding a bicycle show improvement after sleep. The brain seems to practice and refine these movements in the dream state without the body even moving. This explains why students often find that a good night's sleep after studying is far more effective than cramming. The brain needs that time to consolidate. The memory consolidation theory paints dreams as an essential maintenance and learning function, a nightly chore that keeps our cognitive faculties sharp and our knowledge organized. Beyond memory, another compelling theory proposes that dreams serve a critical role in emotional regulation. Our waking lives are filled with a spectrum of feelings, from joy to stress, anxiety to fear. Dreams may act as a safe, internal laboratory where the brain can process and neutralize these strong emotions without the immediate consequences of waking life. During REM sleep, the amygdala, a brain region central to processing emotions, shows heightened activity. Yet, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thought, is less engaged. This unique neurological state allows us to re-experience emotional events from a distance, without the full force of their original impact. It's like a rehearsal for emotional resilience. For individuals who have experienced trauma, dreams can be a recurring battleground. Nightmares, while distressing, are sometimes seen as the brain's attempt to process and integrate traumatic memories. Over time, through repeated exposure in a safe, dream environment, the emotional charge of these memories can lessen. The dream acts as a kind of nocturnal therapy. Conversely, positive emotions can also be amplified and reinforced in dreams, contributing to overall well-being and psychological balance. This theory suggests that dreams are vital for our mental health, helping us cope with daily stresses, resolve emotional conflicts, and maintain psychological equilibrium. Without this nightly emotional processing, our waking lives might be overwhelmed by unprocessed feelings, leading to anxiety and difficulty in adaptation. The emotional regulation theory positions dreams as the brain's quiet mechanism for psychological self-care, a nightly ritual of emotional housekeeping. A more ancient evolutionary perspective comes from the threat simulation theory proposed by Ravonsio. This theory suggests dreams are a biological defense mechanism. In our ancestral past, survival depended on quick reactions to danger. Dreams, in this view, provide a safe virtual reality for rehearsing responses to potential threats. Many dreams, even today, contain elements of threat: being chased, falling, confronting adversaries. These are not just random fears, they are practice scenarios. The brain simulates dangerous situations, allowing us to mentally prepare for real-life challenges. It's a kind of flight simulator for survival skills. Studies have shown that individuals who experience more threatening dreams might, paradoxically, be better equipped to handle real-life stressful situations. This theory highlights the adaptive function of dreams, linking our nightly narratives directly to our evolutionary heritage and the drive for self-preservation. Even though our modern threats differ from those of our ancestors, the underlying neural mechanisms for threat simulation may persist and adapt in our dreams. It implies that dreams are not passive entertainment, but an active, vital training ground for our brains to navigate the complexities and dangers of existence. The threat simulation theory offers a compelling reason for why so many of our dreams involve elements of struggle, pursuit, or evasion. Finally, the problem-solving theory suggests that dreams offer a unique creative space. Freed from the constraints of waking logic, the sleeping mind can make novel connections. Many historical accounts speak of scientists, artists, and inventors finding solutions to perplexing problems in their dreams. The chemist Auguste Kekule famously envisioned the benzene ring after dreaming of a snake biting its own tail. In dreams, the brain can combine disparate pieces of information, experiment with unusual scenarios, and approach challenges from entirely new angles. It's a playground for innovation. This theory posits that dreams are not just processing past events but actively working towards future solutions. They are a form of unconscious cognitive processing that fosters creativity. The brain, unburdened by the demands of immediate reality, can explore possibilities, leading to insights that might be elusive in the waking state. These four theories, memory consolidation, emotional regulation, threat simulation, and problem solving, are not mutually exclusive. They likely represent different facets of the multifaceted purpose of dreams. As we consider these profound reasons for our nightly narratives, we begin to appreciate the intricate work our brains perform while we rest. But what happens when these vital processes go awry, when sleep itself becomes a battleground? Our final chapter will explore the challenges and disorders that disrupt this delicate balance and the ongoing quest to perfect the science of sleep. Until then, stay curious and rest well. We've journeyed through ancient beliefs and modern discoveries, unraveling the intricate layers of our sleeping minds. Now we arrive at the present, where the mystery of dreams continues to unfold, revealing a tapestry of purpose. Our exploration of memory consolidation, emotional regulation, threat simulation, and problem solving has shown us one thing clearly: dreams are not a singular phenomenon. Instead, the scientific consensus leans towards a multifunctional view. Dreams likely serve a multitude of interconnected purposes, working in concert to maintain our cognitive and emotional well-being. The brain, ever efficient, doesn't dedicate one nightly process to a single task. It weaves together threads of memory, emotion, and instinct into a rich, complex narrative. A dream might consolidate a recent memory while simultaneously processing a day's stress and perhaps even offering a creative solution to a problem, all within a single sequence. This integrated approach highlights the brain's remarkable capacity for parallel processing even during states of deep rest. It's a silent, nightly symphony of neural activity. Yet, even with this understanding of function, a profound mystery endures: the subjective conscious experience of dreaming itself. How does the brain create such vivid, immersive realities? We see, we hear, we feel, and sometimes even taste and smell within our dreams. These sensory experiences feel as real as waking life, despite originating entirely within our minds. This hard problem of consciousness, how physical brain activity gives rise to subjective experience, is amplified within the dream state. It's a virtual reality generated from within. The brain, cut off from external sensory input, builds entire worlds. It generates landscapes, characters, and narratives, complete with emotional resonance and logical inconsistencies. What neural mechanisms allow for this incredible feat of internal creation? What makes a dream feel so undeniably real while it's happening? Researchers are exploring the role of predictive coding, where the brain constantly anticipates and constructs reality. In dreams, this construction becomes unbound by external stimuli. The default mode network, active during self-referential thought and imagination, may play a significant role, allowing the brain to generate its own internal narratives. These questions push the boundaries of neuroscience, linking the study of dreams to the very core of what it means to be conscious. Beyond understanding, emerging research is exploring ways to interact with and even influence the dream state. This is the realm of dream engineering and neurofeedback. Building on lucid dreaming research, scientists are developing technologies that can detect REM sleep and deliver subtle cues like specific sounds or light flashes to dreamers. These cues might be used to prompt lucidity or to subtly guide dream content, potentially helping individuals practice skills or process trauma in a controlled environment. Neurofeedback, a technique where individuals learn to consciously alter their brainwave patterns, is also being explored. Could we learn to steer our dreams while awake? Targeted memory reactivation, TMR, during sleep is another fascinating frontier. Researchers play specific sounds associated with learning tasks during NREM sleep to boost memory consolidation. While not directly dream engineering, TMR influences the brain's nocturnal processing, suggesting a future where we can optimize our sleep for learning and well-being. These innovations raise exciting possibilities, from enhancing creativity to accelerating learning, and even developing new therapies for sleep-related disorders. However, they also come with ethical considerations. How much should we interfere with the natural processes of the dreaming mind? Who decides what constitutes an optimal dream? These are questions that contemporary neuroscience must grapple with as we gain unprecedented access to the inner workings of our sleeping selves. The philosophical implications of understanding dreams are profound. Dreams are not just random firings, they are an integral part of our identity. Our nightly narratives shape our memories, process our emotions, and contribute to the continuous construction of who we are, both consciously and unconsciously. They are a testament to the brain's incredible capacity for self-organization, a nightly performance of the self for the self. Dreams reveal the fundamental nature of consciousness itself, its fluidity, its capacity for creation, its ability to exist in myriad forms beyond our waking perception. From ancient shamans to modern neuroscientists, the quest to understand dreams is a journey into the heart of what makes us human. Each discovery, each theory adds another thread to this rich tapestry, painting a more complete, yet ever more wondrous, picture of our inner lives. The science of dreams is a dynamic frontier, a constant dance between the known and the unknown, inviting perpetual curiosity. It reminds us that even in our deepest rest, our brains are actively engaged, performing essential tasks and weaving stories that enrich our existence. The quiet corners of the mind, once shrouded in superstition, are now illuminated by the gentle light of scientific inquiry, revealing profound complexity. This ongoing quest fills us with a profound sense of wonder. The sleeping brain, far from being dormant, is a vibrant universe unto itself. And as we drift into our own nightly slumber, we carry with us this newfound appreciation for the silent work and vivid creations that await us. The mystery of dreams, though increasingly understood, retains its magical essence. It is a testament to the boundless creativity of the human mind. Each night we embark on an involuntary journey, a personal odyssey into realms of imagination, memory, and emotion. These nightly adventures, whether remembered or forgotten, are fundamental to our existence, shaping our inner landscape in ways we are only beginning to grasp. The journey into the science of dreams is far from over. New tools and new minds will continue to peel back the layers, revealing even deeper truths. But for now, we can rest assured that our dreams are not mere fleeting images. They are a profound, essential aspect of our being. And so, as the moon climbs high and the world outside settles into quiet repose, may your own dreams be a source of wonder, peace, and discovery. Sleep well.